morning. Welcome to Christmas Tree Corral building. We're just going to run through the basic steps on how to set up Christmas tree corrals. A couple of things before we get started. You always want to make sure you've got a fully charged drill with you. Ideally have two batteries with you so that while you're using one, you can go ahead and leave the other one behind the floral desk charging so that you don't run out and have to wait an hour to keep going. What you're going to use to build these typically is a 2.5 or 3 inch deck screw with a T25 head. Makes it a lot easier than trying to use a Phillips or a flathead. All of these, when you buy them at the hardware store, will come with the T25 adapter in there, so you don't need to go out and get your own. It'll always come in the package of screws you buy. When you get to a store, they should have all of the pallets set out for you. We use the blue and red CHEP pallets. We don't use the white ones. They just won't work very well, not constructed well, and they will fall apart on you. So always make sure you're using the blue and the red CHEP pallets. All right, so we're back. One of the things I failed to mention a minute ago is when you're building these corrals, make sure to have your safety equipment, have some eye protection. Also, you're going to probably want to have some gloves so you're not putting a screw through your finger. It's also getting splinters off these CHEP pallets. It just makes everything easier on your hands when you're moving these pallets around, putting these screws in. So as you can see, think about each one of these cubicles or each one of these corrals is essentially 4 CHEP pallets. They lay on their long end, one vertically, 2 horizontally, and then to complete the corral, we'll bring a 4th one up to make a U-shaped corral. Each one of these corrals, depending on the size of the tree, should hold about 10 fully unwrapped, fully merchandised, fluffed out trees. Once you get them in this configuration, the first thing that I always do is come in from the top, angle your screw in from the top, just get it started a little bit, and toenail it in at an angle. I always put in 2 screws to start with, 1 from each side. Now you've got a pretty solid base to start with. From that point on, you're going to come to the middle of your pallet. Again, you're going to angle in from the side, drive it in, make sure it goes ahead and matches up real well, and do another one at the bottom. Break something off like that, just go ahead and use another screw. Make sure you've got it buttoned up there just as tight as you can, and drive it in. Now we'll go back and shore these up, but just to get them started, I always go ahead and get the first couple of screws in, get them solid so that they're not going to fall over, and then I can go back in and I'll show you where we're going to put them in the middle and on the lower level, so that these things are all very secure. So that's the start of every corral, is to get your U-shape, which again will hold at least 10 trees fully merchandised. Now all you're going to do to make more corrals for, let's say you get 100 trees, you'll need 10 of those U-shapes. You're just going to literally keep building on. Every subsequent corral takes 3 of the CHEP pallets, because you've already got the bases formed. You're just going to take your pallet, butt it up to the previous one you just did, get it started. Get that angle, go on, just like that. 3 pallets will get you another U-shape. We'll get you another 10 trees at least for your deliveries. Now ideally you're going to build these corrals up against the front of the store. Some of the stores will want them further out, but ideally we like to run them along the front of the store just as an added basis of stability for the trees leaning against the corrals. These can be used without the backdrop because they are that solid, but again, ideally we're going to want to build them against the front of the store. So for the purposes of this video, we really haven't done the full stabilizing build that you would do out in the field. So once you've got your corrals all run in a line, I'm going to go back and I'm going to make sure to fortify these with additional screws. I'm going to make sure I have at least 2 screws up in the top at an angle, but I'm also going to come in at an angle here, at an angle here in the middle, and then again at the bottom. You just want to make sure that as you shake it, you're not getting any movement, that you're going to be able to have those trees solid. You want to make sure that there's no accidents, that people are knocking over these corrals, or that the trees are knocking over. Okay? Okay, so what we've just done with the first build is show you just a single-sided freestanding corral. Again, ideally it'll go up against a wall. It doesn't have to. That should be solid enough to go ahead and hold up on its own, especially if you use the correct screws and the correct amount. There's going to come times in some of the bigger stores with a lot of trees that your store is going to ask for a freestanding back-to-back build, and it's the exact same thing as what we've just done, but you're going to use your previous build, the horizontal pallets. You're going to use that as the spine to just attach the next pallets onto. And again, it's the same thing. You're going to come in, get that corral even up with the one you've just done. Get it started. Make sure your butt nice solid against there. And now you've got the start of your freestanding corral. We'll show you one more pallet here in just a minute to show you what that looks like. All right, so again, back-to-back corral. You're going to build it the exact same way as you did the single-sided corral. Make sure that your vertical spines are lined up. Get them attached, and then you're going to do the exact same thing with these that you did previously. You're going to put screws in at an angle in the middle. Then you're going to put screws in at the bottom at an angle as well. Always try to make sure that when you're drilling in through the solid blocks, not just through the slats. That's going to give you a lot better hold, make for a lot more stable build. And again, it's just repeating the process over and over and over again. Same build out, 2 horizontal, and then 1 on each end of the vertical pallets. Again, always go back, make sure it's very secure so that when you shake this, you're not getting a lot of movement. These really will hold up very well.
Thanks, Kevin, for that great walkthrough on how to build our single-sided and our double-sided corrals. Now there's 2 more things I'd like to discuss before we send you all out to build your corrals at your stores. The first thing I want to talk about, the pallets. We are using the brown wooden pallets this year. A lot of divisions last year used the blue chip pallets. That is a no-go for this year. We will be using the brown wooden pallets. Now, if any of your stores have issues with this or problems with this, always reach out to Rebecca or I and we'll get it taken care of, but we will be going with the brown wooden pallets in all of our divisions. The second thing I want to talk about, furring strips. Now, with these brown pallets, a lot of them can be less stable or a little bit less stable, so always use your best discretion when picking out pallets to build with. I have 2-foot oak wooden furring strips. You can get these at any of your hardware stores. They're great for stabilizing your corrals in case you need them. You can put them across the top, on the corners, across the middle as I have one here, or you can use them on the backside any which way to help connect and stabilize your corral. I'm gonna go ahead and screw this last screw in. There we go, we're all set, and you're all set. Thanks for watching, and let's have a great 2022 Christmas season.